I'm about to draw something, and I'm going to ask for your honest opinion. Now, is this good or bad? You're not hurting my feelings if you think it's bad, but the reason you think it's bad is because you're mentally comparing this drawing to another drawing that you consider good, and it doesn't measure up. The same can be true when it comes to not feeling good enough. Whether you think you're good enough or not really comes from comparison. This comparison could be from another person, or often it's a comparison of the person you think you should be. When you don't think you measure up, it's far too easy to start criticizing yourself and feel bad. One major factor in overcoming feelings of not feeling good enough is to learn how to compare yourself in a healthy way. Let's talk about two types of comparison. One is social comparison. This is the one we're most commonly familiar with. It's when you compare your own accomplishments, looks, athletic ability, grades, popularity, or possible drawing ability with others. Comparisons do provide information. For example, knowing what percentile you're in for your SAT score helps determine how well you did on the test. But comparisons also lead to discouragement. This is because in a comparison, something has to be superior while the other has to be inferior. If you base your feelings of worth of how you measure up with others, it's going to be a constant fluctuation of feeling secure and superior to those below you, and insecure and inferior to those above you. A healthier way to gauge how you're doing is to use temporal comparison. This is where you compare yourself today to where you were in the past and where you want to be in the future. Here's a personal example. I do want to make quality videos that are helpful for you and good, but I can't help but to watch other videos and think their videos are amazing and mine are complete garbage by comparison. At times, it makes me want to give up and accept that I'll never be good enough. This type of comparison can gauge where you stand, but it often discourages you to keep going. Now, when I use this type of comparison, it changes my perspective and outlook for the better. As critical as I am of myself and my videos, when I look back to where I first got started with this YouTube channel to where I am now, I'm encouraged by my progress. And in the future, I'm hopeful I can continue to make progress if I stay with it. You see, it should never be about being better than someone else, because that always comes with the superior-inferior dynamic we discussed earlier. It should be more about being better than you were the day before and making the most in life with what you've been given. There's a parable in the Bible that illustrates this. In this story, there is a master who is leaving his house for travels and before leaving, gives talents to his servants. Based on the abilities of each man, one servant received 5 talents, the second had received 2 talents, and the third received only 1 talent. A talent back then was an absurd amount of money. A single talent was worth roughly 16 years of labor. When the master comes home from his travels, he asked his 3 servants what they were able to do with the talents he gave them. The first and second servants explained that they put their talents to work and had doubled what they were given. The man with 5 talents now had 10, and the man with 2 talents now had 4. Here was the master's reply to both their efforts. "Well done, good and faithful servant. You have been faithful with a few things. I will put you in charge of many things. Come and share your master's happiness." The third servant, however, did not put his talent to work, and instead buried his 1 talent in the ground, because he was afraid of losing the talent and his master punishing him. The third servant was punished by his master, and forced to give the talent he was given to the man who had earned 10 bags. It's easy to understand where this third servant was coming from. He probably thought, this isn't fair. That guy has 5 talents. This other guy has 2. And here I am with this 1 measly talent. I can't do anything with this. What's the point of even trying? But the third servant failed to see that the master wasn't comparing the 3 servants side by side, but rather looking at each one individually and evaluating what they could do with what they've been given. All he had to do was take the 1 talent he was given and doubled it, and he would have been given the same praise as the servant who turned his 5 talents into 10. I know gauging your success by comparing yourself with others will be tough to stop doing. After all, several psychologists believe that our desire to compare ourselves to one another is a drive, almost as powerful as thirst or hunger. But this comparison is likely discouraging you and making you feel that you're not good enough. This story of the master and his 3 servants teaches us not to bury our talents because of the fears of using our talent and not being good enough. It teaches us that we should stop worrying about where we stack up with others and simply do the best we can with what we've been given. As we get to work with whatever amount we have and do our best and stop measuring ourselves with others, our feelings of not being good enough slowly fade away. Whether your current ability is drawing hand turkeys or drawing masterpieces, the mission is the same. Take what you have right now and make the very most of it. Fighting our feelings of not feeling good enough will likely be an ongoing struggle throughout our lives, and I hope this video helps you with yours. Also, if you're looking for more videos on how to transform your thinking for the better, consider subscribing today and look for future videos that post on Mondays. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.